LSU, Reshaping Futures.
Ng dapit diri sa Mindanao, puno sa kaagi, usog sa kultura ug mga istorya. Ang universidad sa syudad sa Uzamis, dinhi sa Lasal, kasaysayan di yun malintan. Gabyang ganda, maayong adlaw, maayong to, dihagan ninyo, mapiyag gawi, maayong gabi, diri sa Lasal, diri Tabay. Serbisyo, pagtuo, serbisyo, pagtuo, serbisyo, pagtuo, serbisyo, panagubay. Maayong adlaw, maayong to, diha ka ninyo, mapiyag gagawi, maayong gabi, diri sa Lasal. Kabyang ganda, maayong adlaw, maayong to, diha ka ninyo, mapiyag gagawi, maayong gabi, diri sa Lasal. Kabyang ganda, maayong adlaw, maayong to, diha ka ninyo, mapiyag gagawi, maayong gabi, diri sa Lasal. Diri sa Lasal, diri sa Lasal, diri Tabay.
LSU, Reshaping Futures.
Let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can
magiliw, kaya sa silangan, alalang ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan na ng magiting, sa manlulupig, itabasisi, sa dagat at mundong sasimayan, sa langit na baka, Manilad ang tulad, awit sa panlayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagninani, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim, lupa ng araw na ating pagsinta, langit sa Piliman, aming ligaya na ang melamate, ang pamatayang dahil sa'yo.
LSU. Reshaping futures.
Who takes longer to get ready in the morning?
Siya!
Who is grumpier in the morning?
Siya!
Who's the messy one?
Ako!
Who's more stubborn?
Siya!
Who's the bigger baby one sick?
Siya!
Who's the alpha?
Ako!
Who spend the most money?
Ako!
Who's the better cook?
Ako!
Who's more annoying when angry?
Ako!
Who's more spoiled?
Siya!
Who's the most patient?
Siya!
Who's the funny one?
Ako!
Who's the more romantic?
Siya!
Who kissed first?
Siya!
Who said I love you first?
Siya!
Who loves the other person most?
Siya! Hello, Lasalians! Please watch Jambayan and Online Kwentuhan this coming February 16 at 2 p.m. here on Arts and Culture Center Facebook page. See you!
Hello Lasalians, good morning and welcome to Artist Talk webinar, which is part of our celebration of the National Arts Month 2022. This webinar aims to mount the arts education productions that promote understanding and appreciation of arts and culture to our Lasalian community even in this pandemic. And we have invited outstanding artists who really practitioners in the field of arts, also his success stories and experience with us. And take note, this is just one of arts education productions we offer to you. To help us this morning, please welcome back our anchor, Miss Twinkle Olmedo. Free to.
Hello
Hi,
again,
Twinkle.
and thank you for having me again. And this is indeed a wonderful opportunity to celebrate this kind of event in the middle of the pandemic or Hearts Month. And of course, Sally, through the help of art, we will not only show in the performances of the Sally University, but also the beauty of how art was evolved in this institution. Anyways, Sir Mark mentioned that the Artist Talk is just one of the arts education productions we offer here in the University community, and because we provide for you the various platforms to experience total human information.
That's right, Twinkle. LaSalle University continues to find a way to continue our service even at this time, especially in the Student Activity Center and Arts and Culture Center. This is because we have a very supportive school administrations that believes in the rule of arts and culture in our society. We would like to say thank you to our university president, Brother Jose Marie L. Jimenez, FSC, our chancellor, Dr. Wendy Caseros, and our vice president for Lasallian Mission, Brother Butch Antolin S. Acudia, the third FSC. I know our virtual audience are now excited, so Twinkle, please introduce our resource person this morning.
All right, so Lasallians, we must be very lucky to have this kind of celebration as an institution who values so much and as an organization that gives importance with art. So our resource person this morning is Mr. Felimon Blanco. He graduated from the 3-year professional diploma in intercultural theater from the Intercultural Theater Institute in Singapore in 2005 on full scholarship by the Georgette Chen TTRP Scholarship Fund. He founded the La Salle University Teatro Gindigan in 2007 and served as its artistic director until 2021. In 2013, Felimon was awarded the 2013 Most Outstanding Zambosurian in the field of arts and culture by the province of Zamboanga del Sur. In 2017, the municipality of Tambulig awarded him also the Tambul ni Ilig Award for Arts and Culture. Filimon finished his Doctor of Philosophy in Education at La Salle University, Ozamis in 2021. Presently, he is taking his second doctoral degree, Doctor of Arts in Literature and Communication at Cebu Normal University. As actor and director, he has performed, directed theater productions, and presented academic papers in Manila, Taiwan, Singapore, Indonesia, China, Japan, India, and even in Abu Dhabi. During the pandemic, he has created various innovative culture and arts projects in this new normal. Felimon courses at Jose Rizal Memorial State University, Dipolog campus. He is presently the head of the National Committee on Dramatic Arts of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. Dear Lasallians, please help me welcome our resource speaker this morning, Mr. Felimon Blanco.
Hi, good morning, Miss Twinkle. Good morning, all fellow Lasallians.
Hello, Sir Mon. Good morning to you, sir. How are you this Feb-Ibig month?
Well, still busy, and I mean, always, February is not just a love month, but it's an arts month. So we get busy with our creative works, uh, and trying to be relevant in this new normal during this
All
pandemic.
right. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much once again for saying yes to our invitation. Now, Sir Mon, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Twinkle. Now, once again, good morning, fellow Lasallians. Today we'll be talking about, I'll be sharing to you, I guess some of you already have witnessed some of these productions when I was still with LaSalle University. And I'll be sharing to you what I call as the challenges and my success stories in creating arts in the new normal. So I have prepared a video for you guys. And after the video, let's have a good and wonderful conversation. So please stay tuned and please prepare your questions. I want to listen to you how you think about creating culture and arts projects during the new normal. So let's watch the video that I have prepared for you. Of art making in the new normal. The worldwide pandemic has had an impact on many aspects of our life. Challenges and success stories of art making in the new normal. The worldwide pandemic has had an impact on many aspects of our life, including our health, as well as our economic and social well-being. Cultural and creative sectors have suffered because of the crisis, with the performing arts sector being the badly hit. Performance activities were among the first to stop due to its nature as a cultural activity that requires the actual presence of an audience, which was no longer permitted due to the pandemic. Unfortunately, several of these institutions have yet to recover from the financial crisis. From a variety of aspects, the performing arts industry is essential, including its contributions to the economy and society, employment, sustainable development, tourism, education, and a variety of well-being advantages. Performing arts institutions fill a significant gap in nations where music and theater are not included in school curriculum by providing instructional and outreach programs that enable youngsters to learn about this important cultural legacy. Many people did not realize the actual value of live performance until these events were removed and how much they missed it during the shutdown. However, in our country, arts are labeled as non-essential. When the nation is battling against COVID-19, priorities are given to the medical field as top priority, and I should say the military as the next priority. However, many people are turning to creativity in this time of great uncertainty, maybe to restore a sense of agency, expression, and happiness. When the pandemic hit, our social media have been bombarded with contents from our younger population. This has become an extension of their creativity while in quarantine. TikTok becomes a national pastime during lockdown. We see people from all walks of life do TikTok videos, even our national government officials. But we all need to be responsible in using social media to more positive aspects. Creativity sells, arts sell. UNESCO reported that cultural and creative industries, or CCI, generated US dollars 2,250 billion a year, or that's 3% of the world GDP, and provide employment to 29.5 million people, and that's about 1% of the world's active population. CCI revenues even exceed from the revenues of telecom services and employed more people than the car industries in Europe, Japan, and the USA. In the case of Europe, the revenues that CCI contributed amounts to 536 billion euros, which is around 4.2% to Europe's GDP. CCI is the third largest employer after construction and food and beverage sectors. CCI engaged more than 7 million Europeans, directly and indirectly. This number is about 3.3% of the EU active population. In the month of March 2020, an unheard virus disturbed every rehearsal room and live concert, bringing every artist and entertainment industry to an abrupt stop. Theaters were forced to close, dance halls were closed, and music gigs were ordered to shut down. The performing arts industry was on a standstill. After the first blow of the pandemic, creatives began to migrate toward technology to interact with their audiences, which surprisingly came through in unexpectedly good and enriching ways. Whether it was to simply maintain human contact, read plays together, brainstorm ideas, and once those ideas were sourced and deliberated on, they were executed and presented on the same platform. For their audiences, family, and friends, albeit often from the home due to global restrictions and national lockdowns. Various performing artists and their groups started to adjust and use technology to continue their creative works. However, these activities were still free shows, and many artists were still struggling to keep up with their monthly bills and everything. This has been a difficult life for the performing arts sector. However, artists have discovered new ways and models of creating works and sharing it to their audiences. Who would have imagined that a performer could reach an audience from anywhere in the world? Is this what digital platform can provide for a performing arts experience? No one needed to go to Manila or Cagayan de Oro or Osamis to view our program. All they needed was an internet connection and a free Zoom account to join the live stream. But there is a question always. What was it like for the audience member who couldn't come in person? What were their experience? The general feeling seemed to be one of appreciation. Audience members expressed gratitude for the access, but acknowledged that it couldn't substitute the visceral experience of seeing a live performance. How about the performer, the artist? What does it feel like to not be able to interact with their audience in person? After conversing with several other performers, writers, directors, and producers from across the country, it seems that they all agree that a live show's physical presence of an audience cannot be replaced by the virtual audience. Despite this, it has continued to give a platform for the sharing of narratives as well as a means of making ends meet. Many artists express an interest in understanding how soon new modes of performance would be available for both performers and the viewers after the epidemic. What made it even better was the fact that artists were always encouraging and supporting one another. One thing the artistic directors and producers are somewhat happy is the fact that not having to fly artists in, which saved them a lot of time. There were fewer scheduling issues. Many of the producers I talked with were excited about the prospect of being able to provide access to anybody who may not be able to attend a concert in person but can watch it online and pay less for a ticket. Technology is unquestionably here to stay and continue to improve. Because of the recent worldwide constraints, there has been a desire to think outside the box and attempt new approaches. Is this new channel, on the other hand, likely to endure in the future? The pandemic's new types of live concerts and performances have enabled audiences to continue to interact with artists. Yet most people think that if you can be in the room, you should attend. The rush of adrenaline, excitement, love, camaraderie, and involvement we all feel when we are all together in person seems to be irreplaceable. What is a performer without an audience, in any case? Isn't the crowd meaningless if the artist isn't there? Perhaps the most important resource for keeping us all going during these unusual times is hope. As the current head of the National Committee on Dramatic Arts of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, we must redesign our committee flagship projects to fit in the so-called new normal, whatever this term really means. And personally, I experimented creating projects which I will be sharing with you some video experts of these creative projects in the pandemic. In summer 2021, I experimented conducting an online acting workshop through the project Theater Workshop Online, Basic Acting Workshop. I used the Zoom breakout rooms to divide the workshop participants, gave them time to rehearse in the breakout rooms their scenes, then go back to main session for the showcase. We even tried migrating online some of the theater exercises. Let's watch this. Okay, tell us your scenario first before you go.
Our scenario is a young bride serves less than desirable meal to her husband. Go na, Neil.
Open curtain.
Oh, nara imuhang panihapon.
Nagluto niyo.
Lugaw.
Lugaw na punta?
Lugaw ra man ito makaya.
Okay na. Ano tayo saging sa kusina? Diba? Yung ganit sila. Basta saging. Sa ganito?
Daoy mura makagbuang. Uy,
Lagi ba?
basta saging.
Lagi. Pero, honey babes, sorry kayo ha. No,
Sorry po, honey babes.
ano, mag-promise ko nimo sa una na hatag na ko tanan sa imong ha. Mga tanan imong pangandoy atong abuton. Pero sa akon man gyud nga di ta punsa na to pinaning kamot di man gyud ta makasulod sa kaharuhay.
Kira na honey babes. Uy, ang importante gauban ta honey babes.
Ay, duwa ko ha.
Kira ka ayo. Ayog ka bala ka ugma manglaba ko.
In September 2021, I was invited by the Department of Education Division of Davao City to conduct an online theater workshop as part of thru Sining for the teachers of the Special Program in the Arts or SPA. In this online training, I used the same model in the theater workshop online. The teachers were given scenes to rehearse and were given time to rehearse during the breakout room. I had to go to every breakout session to monitor the rehearsals and ask them to come back to the main session after the time allotted for the showcase. Let's watch a sample of the output of the teachers.
Okay, Miss Kim No, take your seat. I've heard from your department head na the kind of discipline that you are giving to your students are not effective. Yun sa madaling sila. Please explain. Daghan ka ikog mga nadungog again sa imuha. Oh,
Uh, Based on what you said, ma'am, no, nadungog din ni mo, ma'am. But,
of
sorry
course,
lang,
wala
ma'am.
akong makita.
Pero, I would like you to sit with me.
Why?
When,
That's why you
when
have
it,
a department head. Ano ako mag-sit?
probably you will have a different point of view, ma'am, when you come inside my teaching strategy po with when you experience my teaching strategy po.
Miss Christine, no, I trust the department head so much. That is why, naa sila din ha, kay sila mag-guide sa inyo ha. Naisa diringan, miskin daw ang imuha mga estudyante, nagsige na lang og banha-banha sa eskwela, you allow them. Ano man daw, kung sa ay ang imong principals, anak.
With all due respect, ma'am, no, those are educational noise po, ma'am. I allow them po to discover themselves. I allow them po to experience the things that we are learning so that they will be able to imbibe it in their lives and on not just on that day. Namunungtag jud sa husot sa ilang kinabuhi, ma'am, and that is the kind of experience I am giving my students po. And that's why I wanted you to sit with me while I teach po with all due respect lang po, ma'am, ha. Pero not everybody can appreciate that kind of teaching, ma'am, good ma'am. That's why maybe if you will be able to sit with me, I will be able to show you that it is not the things that you have heard. No, it's not entirely that. Po.
You know, Miss Kim, no, you are actually wasting my time, but then okay, that is actually the first time that I've heard. I don't know kung kinsa nga psychologist mo ang gina-advocate, pero let's see, tanaw na ako. If I feel that it really works in your class, then I guess pwede na to ng sumbogon-suban, but gosh, you are actually giving me a headache right this moment. Pero on the other hand, tanaw na ko. I will try. Maybe I can visit your classroom tomorrow.
Ay, thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, relax lang jud, ma'am. Relax lang. I do not want you to feel that way, ma'am. I'm really sorry, ma'am. If you would like a glass of water, I can give you, ma'am. Pero I just want to defend myself lang din po because that's why I'm here, diba? That's why you called me. That's why you want to hear my side. Kaya that's what I'm giving you po. Pero I'm really sorry if I caused you a heart attack or something like that. Pero thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity na you will observe me in my class. That is a very wonderful opportunity for me to really
Okay,
tell
class.
you
Okay.
and show
Okay,
you.
enough, please. Tomorrow, I'm going to bring the master teacher, the head teacher of your department, and we'll observe you. Okay? Okay, let me
Thank
go
you,
out
ma'am.
na. Sige, sige, lawas na.
Thank you po.
Okay, cut.
This pandemic is not going away so soon. So I must make new plans on how can I migrate online all my programs which are better implemented in a face-to-face manner. As a theater actor and director, I am a believer that theater should be performed live. I want my actors to feel the urgency, the quote-unquote, the in-the-moment feeling that actors get in a physical setup. I wanted to experiment that quote-unquote live theater is still possible in the new normal. My collaborators asked me, what will happen if my internet drops or lags or my screen freezes? My answer? That is part of the experience in doing theater in the new normal. Even if the actors are facing the small screens in their phones, I want them to feel that they are performing before an audience, that they cannot make mistakes and stop because it is streaming live. There are no stops. There are no stops. In Inusara, Mindanao Solo Performance Project, I had collaborating solo actors from Dumaguete, General Santos, Zamboanga, and two of us were in Osamis City. We performed live, one after the other, from the home places of the actors. Just like performing in a real face-to-face festival, we had to be on standby wherever we were once the performance started. The live streaming control was operated by a technical team here in La Salle University, Osamis, managed by what we call as virtual stage manager, who was orchestrating everything. Every location had their own stage manager from which cues of live streaming and camera focusing and adjustments were done in coordination with the virtual stage manager who was operating the festival in Osamis City. Let's watch this.
Hello. Hello. Do you know me? You don't? You should. Why? And why not? I am small, terrible, very terrible. My name is Coronavirus. And indeed, I have a crown. So many crowns. Don't ever accuse me that I freeze your life. You are all rushing too fast. Why so fast, Le? Racing na! Lumbaan na daban na! Ah! Ay! Hoy! 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 Ayaw ko bubuhay o alcohol syunga! Ay! Ah! 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 Ah!
Nasaan ako? Anong nangyari? Ano nga bang nangyayari?
Tawo sa hagdan nagtanaw sa kamera. gabi eh. Lagi ni abot ng aeroplano ganyan ang kaadlawon? Pila po ka NSI ay yung karga gikan sa airport? Kasi natabo na sa gawas? Ang akong mga tanong! Kapila ba ko niingon sa inyo nga dili mo magdula diri sa tubangan sa akong balay kay akong mga tanong maigo sa inyong bola. Tanawa na oh. Di ba lali magpadako ana akong mga tanong. Kunya inyo lang dasmagan? Ha? Ayaw magdula diri. Dito mo. Palayo mo. Dito mo.
As long as you twerk, she for me. So darling, darling, twerk for me. When you dance in
Hello mga kadora, mga kalaag! Gamora nagdawag mga kalaag kayo na preso sa ilang balay. On behalf of your flight deck crew headed by Captain Snack. Hoy! Ang ingay!
I hope to see you on board.
See you on board? Wala nga eh! Putak ng putak! May online class ako! Go! Sumama kayo doon! Sumigaw kayo ng ayuda! Ayuda! Okay ba? No aquarium. O, ito na lang, Pillar sa mga filler. Filler ka, girl. Kiss mo sa mukha mo, girl. Langya ka. O, ito, isaksak mo sa bunganga mo. Chismosa ka, girl. Walang hiya to.
We did the same process for Pares Mindanao Do Festival. Our participating theater groups came from Zamboanga, Kidapawan City, Davao City, Dapitan, and of course, Asami City. Like in Usara, all theater groups were on standby when performances started because we can't afford a delay. After the previous group finished their performance, the next group had to start immediately in order not to create empty screens. However, it was complicated because there were groups whose actors were in two separate locations. There was a lot of online virtual coordination in terms of feeding the video images to the central unit that will stream the performance. For example, in the case of Teatro Gindigan, one of the actors was in Usamis and the other in Zamboanga del Sur. There was a lot of timing to use with the use of StreamYard as platform. Like in real performance, we had several technical rehearsals just to fine-tune every segment to get timing and pick up of lines. Let's watch this.
Gusto nakato kong amiga ay itong tawagan, be.
It really hurts ang magmahal ng ganito. Kung sino pang pinili kong hindi makuha. Ganun na lang daw, kailangan ko itong tanggap.
Hello! Hi, Besh!
Hi! Besh, this is it.
Gusto naman ka, Besh?
To, gikan ko nag-TikTok, way laing lingaw, Besh. So, ano na?
Ano to, grabe?
Karapat-dapat kang bigyan ng DSWD.
Ano ito, bagay mo?
Sunod to, ito bag ko, ingon ko.
Magandang dilag, puso ko yung nabihag. Nakikita.
Ilan ang mga mata mo? Hindi ko alam nakikita.
Buklang ba? Buong tahanan ito nag-isa.
82% ito ay mild cases. Nasa 370,000 naman ang total COVID cases sa bansa. May dagdag na 43 namatay, kaya sumatotal ay 6,900.
Oh! Kamusta pa man ka mahuman, oy? Wala akong trabaho tungod nimo! Siguro karon ipay kay ka, ha? Nga ikaw gipabilin sa trabaho. Then ako dire, halos mo matay na ko ginunauna kung aha ko mangitag konsumo sa sunod adlaw. Pwisit!
Sa ilo ko, running na kayo kung magunaw na mawagal ko trabaho. Tol, inanasad ko sa mamahan na. Loser! Tol. Tol, ingon na si sir na padyutiho na ka sugod ugma.
Sa trabaho? Tol, ako'y gipuli nimo sa trabaho? Tol! Tol, pick up, tol! Tol!
Libre man na kay gobyerno man na. Oh, nya, senior man pud ka. Oban ka? Ay, ugma. Be akong schedule ugma be.
Magagunit sa kong kalawasan ug ikaw magakita sa sakit sa akong pasyente. Oh, sa Maria kong aman sa akong kalangita. Ay, nay! Murag dako jud kini nay babasig na adjud mong history sa naay mga sisto nay. Nay, wag na ya kay basig man disturbo ang anghel ba. Ha, ang lahat kong kalangitan, ikaw maana.
Mangwarta sa mga taong labang nang wala na kwarta? Nituhol kali sa inyo para magpatabang niya. Giyon sa naman ninyo. Ha? Giyon sa naman ninyo. Mangwarta kasi ko na to.
Nay!
Namatay mo ha? Ayun, di ba? Ang gahom sa inyong tikitik. Madam, di ba sila? Di ba ako? Di ba Migdanay? Togo!
Kung paano mo napapalit si Abdul? Bigay silang pangalawang pinaka... Tumitig ka ang posisyon dito sa Maya! Sinasabi ko sa'yo! Bakit mo ang tatalikuran mo siya sa iyo? Sagutin mo ako! Alam mo tayo na walang maaaring gumawa mo! Pinatatas sa diwa at tatang ngunit sarili may walang ilaw. Saan? Nino? Paano?
In these two festivals, the homes become the theater stage now. The stage setup was changed to the room, sala, backyard, kitchen, etc. Stages become more natural, though we lost the technical support of sounds and lights. At the same time, there were a lot of technical rehearsals to simulate the performances. In this kind of virtual productions, we need to have several technical rehearsals to make sure nothing will go wrong during the final show, since this was a live performance. I was able to experiment doing live festivals. I wanted to push more. This time, I wanted to create an international collaborative theater production involving 4 actors from 4 different countries. I asked about how can intercultural collaboration be done in this time of the pandemic. I created the project Kotai, funded by the Japan Foundation Manila. I wanted to experiment in creating a production with live actors layered with pre-recorded videos and sounds. I worked with my collaborating actors from Hong Kong, India, and Japan. We meet virtually, discussed, and debated about dramaturgy. In the end, we agreed to perform live with layers of pre-recorded videos using StreamYard as platform. Let's watch this.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Felimon.
Ay, naman siya.
Ay, nako. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Nasha.
Hi, Dopo.
Ay, Felimon.
Hi, Felimon.
Hi, Noshad.
Opo.
Ay, Melissa.
Hi.
The challenge was to try to go away with the squarish feel using digital platform. Most of the productions I did were in square boxes of Zoom. So when Teatro Gindigan participated in Teatro Europa's second edition, we were challenged to create a piece that is beyond the usual in the new normal, which is Zoom boxes. The problem was I had two actors who are based in Cebu City. They needed to be layered to the Osamis actors. We experimented using OBS and Zoom platform with green screen. Cebu actors were layered to Osamis actors via use of green screen being captured on OBS. So we were able to change sceneries by changing backgrounds using OBS software. This was not live, but we shoot this inside the studio. Let's watch this.
Welcome home again, Gonzalo.
Thank you, Eduardo.
My dear Gonzalo, I wish you could explain to me some Latin words in my son's last letter.
Oh, that's nothing. Do you think I don't understand Latin as well as your son? I am an old academicus. I'd have you know, Eduardo. But when do you expect him home?
Today or tomorrow? Wait a bit, my dear Gonzalo. I will run and tell Ramona to drink us a drink of salabat.
Oops! I'd rather have a glass of tuba because it's late in the morning to drink salabat.
Okay.
Good morning, Silingan.
Good morning.
Have you any news from your son?
What is happening here? Alfonso is beating me!
Oh, ikaw ang salbahis! Don't you know how to respect such a learned man? Your unrespected son. Don't pay any attention to him. He is an ignorant.
I sit here speculating about important questions.
Hey, Mother Donato! It is a shame that you didn't come half an hour earlier. You would have heard Alfonso and the deacon disputing together. Shame on Gonzalo. He is worse than I thought. However, I see well enough that he has forgotten nothing of his Latin. He has clever devilish tongue.
Recently, I did another international online collaborative theater workshop supported again by the Japan Foundation Manila. I worked with another Japanese actor based in Tokyo. We used technology of OBS like Senor Erasmus. I wrote a new script for children fusing folk tales, one from Japan, one from the Philippines. Let's watch this.
Hey, my dear friend, for many years, my banana bears fruit, but I can't climb to harvest. This time, my banana is ripe again. Can you climb for me?
Oh, yes. But will you give me some banana also?
Yes. We can divide it and share equally.
Oh, yes. It's good deal then. I try.
Hey, Onggoy! Please throw some bananas! Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Hey! Please throw some bananas! Woo! You are so bad!
I'm a fool. Yes.
We will see what will happen to you when you go down. Hey! Please throw some bananas!
Hey! I Where is Bow? I will crush you. It's very bad. I will throw to the leader.
Please don't throw me to the river. I don't know how to swim. Please have mercy on me. Please have mercy on me, Onggoy.
Oh, you afraid leader? Don't worry. I will teach you a lesson.
Teo tatakimasho, tan tan tan, tan tan tan. Ashi bumishimasho, tan tan tan, tan tan tan. Halimango, what happened? I think my head breaks. Who did this to you? Unggoy throw persimmon fruit in my head. It hit so hard. Am I bleeding? No, I'm bleeding. No. There is just a break in your shell. Oh, this should stop. We have to teach Onggoy a lesson. He cannot go on like this, cheating and hurting others. So what shall we do then? But Onggoy is also a friend. We cannot punish a friend. Shall we let him do it to all of us every time then? Someday soon, he will realize that he needs friends. Okay. We just let him do it to us all the time. I hope someday he will realize that.
The pandemic presented an exciting opportunity to be creative and apply those concepts to a new situation, since we were forced to face concerns of space and distance not only between the performers, but also between the actors and the audience. I wanted to produce a performance that enabled people to connect with one another, particularly in these times when we feel so separated. This seemed to be an excellent chance to bring people together in a secure and physically separated manner. Experimenting with online events in this new context has elevated digital initiatives from being secondary to major modes of creative expression and audience engagement in the past. Now, they have assumed the most important function alongside the live event. These are fresh avenues for connecting with individuals who would not have entered the building otherwise, since the outdoors now has become the new indoors. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Wow, imagine even in the middle of the pandemic, our artist was able to show their talents and skills in this new normal. And with that, thank you so much, Sir Felimon, for instilling into our minds that arts can feed the human soul and fuel our creativity. I know you guys have some questions already. You can just type your questions in the comment section below, and we will flash this on screen for Sir Limon to answer. Please welcome back our resource speaker this morning, Mr. Felimon Blanco.
Hi, thank you, Miss Winkle. I hope you learned something from the video presentation. So these projects that I did were all done in LaSalle University since 2020 until 2021.
All right, so do we have questions from our audience? All right, so I believe we don't have any questions from our audience, Sir Mon. All right, so we have a question. All right, we have a question from Sir Mark Tihada. What can you advise to our student artists in this pandemic period?
Well, actually, ang problema, the biggest problem really now is the internet connectivity, especially students who are actually in remote places where internet connection is not really very strong. However, like what we always say, that there's always a way. And I think I would like to challenge our student artists, Lasallian student artists, to continue, doing your art even in this time of the pandemic. And I think right now we have to ride to the current trends, and we do virtual because we are still not permitted to do the actual or physical gatherings. And doing
works even alone in the house and being shared, and even this kind of collaboration can still be done. It's just really a matter of really pursuing it. Like what in the video that I presented earlier, that I wanted to experiment how can we make collaborative productions in the new normal where we are too separate, we are too distant from each other, but it's possible. And I think it's about time that our student artists should not be discouraged, that they cannot do their art practice now because of they wanted to do it really live. I know that feeling of really gathering and meeting because it's more engaging, but this is our reality now, and we need to find ways to be relevant in this time of the pandemic.
All right, so thank you so much with that sermon. So student artists, do not be discouraged, and that is according to Sir Felimon. All right, sir. Last question. I have a question for you since our audience has no question. So how can you describe the status quo of art in this pandemic? So is it challenging for you to share to others your talents and skills, especially that you have members from your organization? How do you continue to inspire them?
Well, like what I mentioned, in the presentation, that the art sector is the most badly hit, in this pandemic, because artists are, I mean, physical gatherings are limited. Even musicians, dancers, actors cannot converge to produce a work, in especially for artists who rely really in this kind of gigs for their living. um, that is the most difficult thing that happened to them right now. And I would say that during the early months of COVID-19, our artists have faced a lot of challenges. How to, I mean, it's about about survival. It's about really doing work at the same time doing, surviving. And uh, towards the last quarter of 2020 started, artists started to find models of doing works that they can somehow also earn. And in art, we see artists doing online workshops for a fee, although minimal fee, but they are earning a fee. And there are also like done via Zoom, and you just have to, you are selling tickets online, certain cost, and people can just go. So these are models that we have developed. Nobody's prepared to do this, but I think through time artists have found ways to become, like what I've always said, to become relevant now, because especially the art sector is really labeled as non-essential during the pandemic. Hindi siya kasali doon sa mga essentials, no, kasi parang I would say that the top level government management would always see arts and culture as just for entertainment's sake, and we forget, and we did not realize that the arts are there as food for our soul. To continue our creativity means pushing our humanity to exist even during this time of the pandemic. So artists need to be relevant. By being relevant, this pandemic means that they need to find ways to do creative works, so that lalabas that the arts are really part of our cultural expressions. Gaya ng sinasabi ko always, that the arts are always an extension of ourselves. This is really part of who we are, and this is an extension of our I would say that the arts are really part and important aspect of the human race. So more than 2 years already in the pandemic, but artists continue to struggle. I would believe that, but we have somehow already found ways to use this what we have right now to our advantage also.
All right. Thank you so much with that sermon because as you have mentioned, our country has not made art one of the essential or part of the essentials. So even if this is the new normal, yet you are here trying to push and having the urge to still continue our culture. All right. Thank you so much, Sermon. And of course, thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. And it is always refreshing to learn new things during this pandemic period. We hope that you have learned a lot in this webinar from our resource speaker. To our live viewers, don't forget to answer the evaluations from posted in the comment section. Again, this will be the basis for you to receive a certificate for this event. And please make sure to use your LSU email account to answer the evaluation form. Just a reminder, we will be closing the Google Forms this 12:30 p.m. Before we end this session, let us plug this afternoon's event, Jambayan and Online Kwentuhan, featuring the love story of Mr. and Mrs. Dolor and the live music session of Earl Agustin together with Philip Concepcion. To all Lasalians who are single, in a relationship, engaged, married, complicated, widowed, separated, divorced, or whatever relationship status you are in, you are all invited later because the event will make you fall in love over and over again and say isang malaking sana all to Mr. and Mrs. Delor. Also, don't forget to like and visit the Arts and Culture Center Facebook page to get regular updates of our celebration. This and a lot of surprises are in store for you to celebrate the National Arts Month. Surely, this is an event that you didn't want to miss. Before we end this event, we would like to extend our utmost gratitude for spending your time with us. We hope that you will consider joining the events mentioned. Let's explore, learn, and have fun together in this celebration. Together, let us use art as an expression of hope in our own creative ways as we respond to the effects of the pandemic as we continue to elevate the lives of every Filipino. This has been your host, Twinkle Almedo. Thank you so much. Stay safe and animal asal.
Alma Mater, hail today the sun. We'll hold the banner high and bright, a shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright, and never shall we fail. We are Alma Mater, hail, hail, hail. Hail, hail, Alma Mater, hail to hail the sun. We'll hold your banner high and bright, the shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright, and never shall we fail. Hail to thee, our Alma Mater, hail, hail, hail. Hail to thee, our Alma Mater, hail,
LSU,